Greetings to everyone out there in the No DQ galaxy. Welcome to the No DQ live recap of WWE SmackDown for December 20th, 2019. Christmas-themed edition of SmackDown. We had the usual Christmas set with the trees and the packages, the presents. And we also had a Miracle on 34th Street fight that we've seen on WWE television during the holidays over the past several years. We got that to discuss, but first, we kicked off SmackDown with Daniel Bryan, clean-shaven, short hair, no beard. We had a recap video of what happened at TLC between The Miz and The Fiend, or should I say, regular Bray Wyatt, although we did see The Fiend during that whole match and post-match segment. Bryan came out and he was doing the yes chants again. Crowd was chanting Daniel Bryan. Bryan did the Mick Foley cheap pop. He said it's great to be back in Brooklyn, New York, and he had to be honest with the people. He wasn't sure where he went, and he did not notice the beard or hair missing because he's always been Daniel Bryan, but what went away was the Daniel Bryan brand. And Bryan talked about how with the beard and the hair being gone, the brand that he had built up over the past several years was also gone. And when Bryan went home, his daughter saw him for the first time without the beard or the facial hair and the long hair. And she cried, according to Bryan. She was scared. And all she had known, according to Bryan, was the brand. However, Bryan did recognize himself, and he talked about how Bray Wyatt did this promo where Wyatt said that he knows how to control pain and all that stuff. Bryan said he was going to call out Wyatt to come out there and prove Wyatt wrong, and that Wyatt would, in fact, feel some pain from him. This led to The Miz coming out instead, and Bryan and The Miz went back and forth here a little bit. The Miz, I should say, said that Bryan doesn't know what it's like to have his home violated, and then Miz then said he was going to take the thing that Bray Wyatt cherishes the most, the Universal Championship. This led to Baron Corbin coming out, King Corbin, I should say. Corbin said that maybe if Miz's daughter had more of Maurice's genes, that she wouldn't be so scared. And then Corbin said that Bryan came home looking like the baby Yoda, and then said that Daniel Bryan's brand is a failure. Corbin brought up all of his accomplishments, how he beat up Kurt Angle and retired Kurt Angle at WrestleMania. He won King of the Ring. He defeated Roman Reigns at TLC, and he showed the footage from the pay-per-view and had the announcer repeating the same line, "Here is your winner, King Corbin." Corbin said he wants the Universal title. He's next in line as far as he's concerned, and both Daniel Bryan and The Miz are failures as fathers, according to Corbin. Miz and Bryan were about to beat up Corbin when Dolph Ziggler came in with the sneak attack, and we had this beatdown, end of days to Daniel Bryan. And guess what, players? Holla, holla, holla. This became a tag team match for the main event. What a shocker. We had a backstage promo with Heavy Machinery, and they were asked about if their confidence was shaken up due to what happened last week with Cesaro throwing Otis's ham down on the ground. Tucker basically said that they still have their confidence and that the only weak spot with Otis is his heart. He's a big man with a big heart. Mandy Rose came in and revealed that she is the Secret Santa for Otis, and she proceeded to give Otis a new ham as a Christmas gift, and then she even gave him a kiss on the cheek. We then had the Miracle on 34th Street fight between the Revival and Heavy Machinery. I enjoyed this match. It's a lot of fun. I usually enjoy these matches. You just gotta like it for what it is. It's just silly stuff, but it's fun. I think it's fun, at least. They were throwing each other around all the Christmas presents, and we had Dash Wilder getting thrown into the Christmas tree, and I think it was Dawson who got suplexed into the whole set of Christmas gifts. And at one point, Otis got powerbombed through the table that at first had some treats and gifts on it. And Revival, of course, they threw all that stuff away. But then what undid the Revival was when they messed with Otis's ham. You don't mess with his ham. Dawson took the ham and threw it down on the ground. Otis snapped. And then Otis brought out a bag which had Legos in it. And we had Dash Wilder suplexed onto the presents, as I mentioned. And then Dawson got slammed onto the Legos. Otis ended up picking up both guys, slamming them. And then we had the compactor for the victory. And Otis backstage had the ham for Mandy Rose. And he told her he was sorry about the ham getting messed up. She said it was all right, gave him a hug. But then it was revealed that she had sweat all over her dress, and she walked off in disgust, and Otis was upset. Gary with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that, Gary. He says, taking a moment to share some Christmas love to No DQ. Thank you very much for that, Gary. I do appreciate it. Back in the ring, we had the Revival complaining. I feel like they've been doing this angle for a long time now. They were complaining about not being taken seriously, and they were like, what happened to good old-fashioned wrestling? Then we had Elias show up. Elias sang a song about how it would be best if the Revival went away. Maybe they will in 2020. We'll have to wait and see. Elias said that his grandma watched their match and then ended up on life support. And then the final line, Elias said that the Revival, they're going to need to make a big change, kind of like Caitlyn Jenner. For those of you that don't know, Bruce Jenner had the sex change, became Caitlyn Jenner. So that's what that was a reference to. What did you guys think about that line? Do you think it was funny or do you think it was offensive? Let me know in the comments what you thought about that one. If you haven't seen it, you can go on No DQ's Twitter and check out the clip of it. I guess Elias, it felt like a John Cena 2003 promo as the Dr. Thugonomics, except we have Elias singing instead of rapping. Pretty much the same thing. Mike B says it was funny, and Ken Terminated by Google says, I don't give a damn about Caitlyn/Bruce Jenner. Darren says it was fine. Next up, we had a backstage segment with Sami Zayn and Braun Strowman. Interesting line here from Sami Zayn. He said he's not trying to recruit Braun Strowman to join a group. I think they were doing that a few weeks ago, but it also felt to me like a knock at AEW with all the recruitment storylines. I wonder if that's what it was or not. But anyways, Sami Zayn wanted to give Braun Strowman a gift. Strowman said what he would like as a gift is an opportunity at Shinsuke Nakamura's Intercontinental Championship. Sami said that unfortunately Cesaro and Nakamura already have a tag team match, but he'll check it on his list and it'll be in his brain perhaps for a later time. We had Carmella versus Sonya Deville. Carmella had Pyro, which pretty much means a big victory for her and I guess another push. Carmella won the match very quickly with the Code of Silent submission. And I'm just thinking to myself, did the wrong person win this match? Like, Carmella was doing the stuff with R-Truth, and it's like, why not go with somebody different? Like, Sonya Deville, they haven't really done much with her, and I feel like she has some potential. So I'm a little surprised that Carmella's getting another push at the expense of Sonya, but I suppose with Bayley being the women's champion, you got to keep those babyface challengers lined up. I mean, that's the only good reason I can think of for this happening. And then we had another Sheamus promo talking about how things have not changed for the good, and the Soul left SmackDown when he got injured, but now he's back and things are going to pick up, yada, yada, yada. We then had the New Day versus Cesaro and Nakamura. I wanted to say that I do like Cesaro's 3D graphics, the Matrix letters popping out when he makes his intro. I thought that that was pretty cool. But of course, Cesaro takes the pinfall in this match. Kofi pins Cesaro with a small package. And then after the match, Nakamura goes after the New Day. And then Sami Zayn joins in on the fun. It's a 3-on-2 attack. Braun Strowman makes the save. And Strowman is about to take out Shin when Sami Zayn pulls Shin to safety. We had a backstage segment with The Miz and Daniel Bryan. Miz did thank Daniel Bryan for saving him at TLC. Bryan said that he did not do it for The Miz. He did it for himself, and then they started arguing about who dislikes the other one more. And then Miz finished it off by saying that after tonight, Bray Wyatt is his. We then had Bayley versus Dana Brooke, who recently just signed a 5-year contract with WWE. And her first night after signing the contract, well, she loses. Sasha Banks was there at ringside, providing a little bit of a distraction. Dana Brooke was very game, though. A very game Dana Brooke in a losing effort. Lacey Evans came out after the match to protect Dana Brooke, and then she cut a promo saying that Sasha Banks looks like a legit bully. She wants a match with Sasha right there on the spot, and she will make Sasha a legit loser. We had the match after the commercial break. I guess they could not do a tag team match because there are already 3 other tag team matches on this show. We had a pretty short match here, more of an angle because you had Lacey Evans' husband and daughter at ringside in the front row. And the match ended in a count out. Sasha Banks, a double count out, I should say. Sasha was taunting Lacey's daughter, and Lacey's daughter was really entertaining because she kept trying to swipe at Sasha. She was making all these faces at her. I thought she was great. And then Lacey snapped and went after Sasha after the match. Dana Brooke and Bayley tried to pull the two apart from each other. So nice little angle here to further their storyline. And then we had the main event, Daniel Bryan and The Miz versus Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. The Miz and Bryan argued during the match, but then they started doing the yes kicks and the it kicks, and then they did them together simultaneously against Corbin and Ziggler. Surprisingly enough, there was a submission finish in this match, and it was The Miz tapping out Dolph Ziggler with the figure 4. When was the last time that Miz won a match with the figure 4? Just wondering. And then as soon as the match was over, and I mean like immediately after the match was over, it was announced that The Miz will face Baron Corbin and Daniel Bryan next week in Detroit on SmackDown, with the winner facing Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble. Now, what would have happened if Dolph Ziggler got the pinfall here? Would they still have done this triple threat? So I kind of felt it was silly that this graphic was immediately put up when the match was over. It's kind of like the whole thing is staged. But you guys know what I'm saying. I wish WWE would not do stuff like this. Like that's what's called overproducing, when you do stuff like this, and it kind of takes away from the suspension of disbelief. And then after the match was over, we had the lights go out with the Bray Wyatt laugh, and that was that. That was the end of SmackDown. Overall, I thought it was a pretty average show with a few high points. Daniel Bryan coming out was pretty solid, and the stuff with Bryan and The Miz was entertaining. Main event was kind of just there. No Roman Reigns on this show, interestingly enough. No appearance by the big dog. And the stuff with Otis I thought was very entertaining. I did like the Miracle on 34th Street fight, but I mean, everything else on this show, if you missed it, probably not too much that you were missing. I did like the angle with Sasha Banks and Lacey Evans and Lacey's daughter. So there were a few highlights on this show, but overall, my letter grade, I'm going to give it a C+, slightly above average, because there were a few things that I found to be entertaining, and the show flowed okay, but still far from one of the best SmackDowns of the year. People's WWE channel gives it a C, Curtis Butler with a C, Gary with a C+, Michael Wayne with a B-, Kev Dog with a C, People's WWE channel with a C, and the Game Is On 100 with a C, CC Drink with a C+, Mike B with a B, and Red Raven Rucker with a B, and Dr. NXT Scorpio gives it a C. Now, I do want to let you guys know that on Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, I will be doing a special End of the Decade live stream. Since I will not be doing a stream on Monday or Wednesday, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to talk about whatever you guys want. You can send in questions. I'm going to do a Q&A. And I'll also give my predictions for 2020. What I think is going to happen, what I would like to see happen. That's going to be coming up this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So if you guys can do me a favor, please spread the word. Tell a friend about the channel and NoDQ.com. Whatever you can do to spread the word would be very much appreciated. Ken Terminated by Google with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Ken. He says, Rift, are you saying that once again NXT dominated this week? I am so happy for Ripley. She deserved the NXT women's title. I would say NXT had the biggest show this week, definitely, with the title change and Finn Balor versus Adam Cole. I mean, it was a stacked, it was like a mini takeover. It was like a free takeover. So yeah, I'd have to give NXT the win this week. AEW would be second, and then Raw, or not Raw, SmackDown, and then Raw would be last. Yeah, Raw was not too good this week, so I would give SmackDown. And, you know, SmackDown's always going to have the upper hand because of the 2 hours versus 3 hours. It very rarely does Raw out-deliver SmackDown. Once in a while, but not too often. So that's all I got for tonight, guys. See you guys on Sunday. And then after that, I'll be back next Friday to recap SmackDown. And then we got Monday Night Raw on the 30th. Back live with the wedding between Bobby Lashley and Lana. That should be fun. See you guys Sunday night. Thank you all for watching. Take care, everybody, and be safe.